there is questions from the heart, please welcome Stephanie Elise Freno.
Actually, it is questions from the heart. Last week, I wrote this, Saturday and Sunday. This is entitled, Stephanie Elise Freno, Girls Only, Questions from the Heart. And what I decided to, what I believe would be fitting for today, because anyone who's transgender, we're out of tune with society to begin with. And with today's climate in society and in the political arena, it's even more so. So what I'm sharing is something that's from my view writing. Women are so diverse in their experiences that there can be no universal model of womanhood or femininity, just as much as there is no universal model of manhood. Throughout my transition journey, there have been times I have thought of questions which only a cis female could answer. When a human being is born, the doctor delivering looks to see whether the baby has a vagina or a penis and declares, it's a girl, it's a boy, which has determined the gender of the human being for generations. This is better known as gender assignment and has been accepted by society since the beginning of time. The lines of gender identity and sex are intertwined and are debated. The American Psychological Association varies their views and definitions between gender and sex. Gender identity is a person's deeply felt inherent sense of being a boy, a man, a male, a girl, a woman, or a female. Sex refers to a person's biological status and is typically characterized as male, female, or intersex. There's a number of indicators of biological sex, including sex chromosomes, gonads, internal reproductive organs, and external genitalia. Sex, the trait that distinguishes between males and females. Sex refers to especially as physical or biological traits, whereas gender refers especially to social or cultural traits. When a person proclaims, I am a male or I am female, they're expressing their gender identity. As they express their gender identity, they either wear clothes that express that identity. It's debated and is not well accepted by society. Excuse me just a second. That it's not well accepted within society. Within society and the legal community, many in society may respond with, how can someone state they are internally male or female? I offer the following. Why do dogs bark? Why do cats meow? Why do salmon, when they're spawning, decide to swim upstream? Why do women wear dresses? Why are they not labeled as cross-dressers when they wear pants? When men wear dresses, they're labeled as cross-dressers, sexual deviants, and a whole lot of other terms. Humans accept that when the weather is cold, their instinct is to put on warm clothing to stay warm. When it's hot, to turn on the fan, turn off the air conditioning, or go for a swim. I could go through many times the process of purging, where I would throw out my collection of women's clothing. Many times, my internal feelings of wanting to wear female clothing would return, and with even stronger feelings. I began to go out in public wearing dresses to clubs that I felt comfortable going out to late at night. Along with this feeling was a feeling of being unsafe, as I would be alone. I began to question why I always felt this way. I began to look back at my behavior and my efforts. I began to research online and soon I came across an online therapist. I shared my desire and love for wearing women's clothing, to which her response was, this does not go away. It's best to accept who you are. I continue further research on how to accept being who I am. I soon came across information concerning the difference between a cross-dresser and being a transgender. As I continue my research, I discovered that I'm not alone. There are many who are transgender. I discovered there are women who become men and men who become women. I did an enormous amount of soul searching. I came to the conclusion that inside I am female, and I indeed needed to accept who I am for my own well-being. For years, I dealt with an internal conflict between myself, of being male, and being female. Once I decided to accept myself as female, I felt very happier and very much at peace with myself. I then began a quest to find a counselor with whom I could share and be open with my inner feelings and to express myself as female. My first counselor said to me, "Your journey will not be easy." This at first felt like a mental obstacle. I questioned what she meant, began to again research for the answer. I soon found transgender individuals face loss of friends, employment, harassment, violence, including death. It's alarming that along with being a transgender individual, it's also a fact that the suicide rate is 40% higher. All of these scary things to face. I also met Jessie, who herself was on her own journey. Something that she said to me has always stood out. This is what she said: take one day at a time, one step at a time. As you look back, you will see your journey behind. I began to slowly present myself in the daytime, and began to go to places to test reaction towards me as a female. Soon this became living every day as a female, which is one of the WPATH standards. I've been living my life now daily as female for 5 years. The day that I moved into my apartment here in Austin is the day that I began to present myself female each and every day. In the open book, I have something else to announce.